Hello, everyone. My name is Benjamin Sanchez, and I am a postdoctoral researcher in the Singapore ETH Center. I am part of the Circular Future Cities team of the Future Cities Lab Global Program. I am delighted to participate in the ISARC 2023 conference, and I want to present to you my research paper entitled Identifying Key Parameters for BIM-based Disassembly Plan. This is a brief outline with the points in this presentation. I will start with the background and motivation of the research. Then I will follow up with the research overview, methods, and limitations. Let's start. In an era of climate change mitigation and adaptation, efficient use of the natural resources is considered as a practical means to increase sustainability in urban settlements. From a life cycle perspective, buildings contribute significantly to the global environmental load caused by human activities. For example, the building industry is responsible for the 30% of the world's resource depletion. At the same time, it is responsible for the 40% of the waste production to landfills. These numbers reveal a huge inefficiency in the use of the natural resources that are more and more scarce day by day. As such, in the last 3 decades, there has been a growing interest for improving the life cycle performance of buildings in order to move towards a more sustainable environment. A shift of thinking in the perception of sustainability in the construction industry has arisen in the last decade, switching from the traditional, creative, and innovative approach towards a restorative and regenerative one. This change of perception is founded in the fact that an enormous proportion of extracted materials along human history are in today's built environment, and is going to keep increasing in the coming decades. The turnover rate of the building stock is low, therefore we cannot just rely in the construction of new energy-efficient assets. The relative importance of the extraction and construction life cycle stages have increased because of the reduction of the energy loads in the operational phase. And finally, the price of materials extraction is increasing, as is the negative environmental impacts due to natural constraints. To remedy this situation, the construction industry is implementing designs and systems with improved life cycle performance. The main objective is to consider closed-loop cycles. The principle of closed-loop cycle aims to keep products, components, and materials at their highest utility and value as much as possible in order to create sustainable cycles. One example of these trends is product recovery management and the circular economy for the built environment. In this matter, adaptive reuse of buildings has been identified as a superior alternative in terms of sustainability and circular economy. It involves restoring and, in some cases, changing the use of existing buildings that are obsolete. In a life cycle perspective, adaptive reuse has the potential to maximize the residual utility and value of existing assets by giving them new life through PRM methods. In the process of adaptive reuse, it is necessary to take out parts of the old design to refurbish or replace. However, if a threshold is exceeded, adaptive reuse could not produce environmental savings anymore, and it could become more costly than new construction. Therefore, the selective disassembly planning has to be performed efficiently. The use of building information modeling, BIM, for adaptive reuse has the potential for optimizing the project outcomes. Unfortunately, the current implementation of adaptive reuse relies on conventional intuitive planning procedures by professionals, leading to suboptimal results. This problem is due to the lack of development of PRM methods to assist during the process of adaptive reuse planning, such as selective disassembly planning. The implementation of disassembly planning for buildings at a component level is still limited due to the lack of standardized methods and the lack of the definition of characteristics parameters for building disassembly models. Therefore, the aim of this paper is to develop a framework collating the necessary parameters for disassembly models. In this respect, in previous research, we developed a selective disassembly planning approach for buildings. The field of disassembly planning and deconstruction for buildings have been studied for the last 20 years. However, the research has been focused on the complete disassembly with fixed activity networks. In contrast, the field of selective disassembly has remained unexplored and underdeveloped. In 2018, we developed the first in its class selective disassembly planning for buildings method approach, or SDPV method. The SDPV method is based on heuristic optimization and the disassembly structure graphs theory. The method optimizes disassembly plans for retrieving selected components, for example, the steel beam C7 in the figure. The method seeks to minimize the environmental impacts and removal cost by using a rule-based recursive analysis and based upon physical, environmental, and economic constraints of the components. Based on the previous studies, we identified the critical needs and information requirements for disassembly models of buildings. For example, for the adaptation planning stage, it is necessary to define an appropriate level of detail in order to make the model compatible with disassembly planning theories. For the selective deconstruction stage, it is necessary to set the construction interfaces between the building parts for choosing the correct deconstruction method to apply. For the renovations stage, it is necessary to develop an accurate as-built model in order to fit new or reused parts into the new design. This point is related to the determination of the level of tolerances between the physical interfaces of the existing parts of the new additions. In this study, we have defined a framework with the three consecutive disassembly modeling stages for buildings. The three stages are displayed in the figure, and they are 1. Pre-processing stage, 2. Analytical disassembly model stage, and 3. Performance stage. After defining the stages, we identified and characterized the parameters for disassembly planning of buildings based on the lessons learned from the previous studies and based on the literature review of disassembly planning methods for buildings, and also for manufacturing products. It is interesting to mention that the field of selective disassembly planning for manufacturing products have been developed so much more in comparison to buildings. Therefore, there is a huge potential to take advantage of the technology and advancements developed in this domain. According to the framework developed in the last part, we defined the BIM parameters needed for disassembly models for buildings, and we mapped the corresponding IFC entities for their definition. These parameters can be defined from an information model during the modeling stage, or they can be automatically generated by using subroutines in the BIM ecosystem. For the functional demonstration of the presented framework, we developed an information model with all the required parameters for developing the disassembly planning for retrieve target components. We developed the appropriate subroutines to complete some of the necessary information. For example, we developed an automated script to add meaningful information to the BIM elements during the modeling process. As discussed before, this information is fundamental to compute the disassembly planning of target components, such as type of part, disassembly part ID, and hosted components. Also, we developed an automated script in order to extract relevant information from the BIM model for the deconstruction planning. This information is necessary for determining the deconstruction sequences of target components to retrieve, such as motion constraints for components and extraction directions for connection. With the information generated and retrieved from the BIM model, now it is possible to apply methodologies for selective disassembly and deconstruction planning. These methodologies create the optimal activity network and disassembly sequences to retrieve components based on physical, economic, and environmental constraints. These are just two examples of several needs that we have pointed out in the full paper. There are more stages in the process of adaptive reuse that must be covered in future research, such as managing and undertaking the activities for the construction and renovation works. The framework developed in this study helps to understand how to effectively tackle some technical and execution barriers by complementing the information included in the current BIM structure. In this study, we demonstrate with functional examples the possibility of complementing the missing information in BIM models for disassembly planning of buildings. One of the main limitations of the presented approach is that its accuracy depends on the accuracy of the data input. In this matter, the available data for the construction works is limited to only a few options according to the most common trends in the construction industry. Therefore, we have to make some assumptions to complete the missing data manually. Another limitation is that the usability of the method is mainly threatened by the amount of data to manually enter. However, the evidence shows that the advances on BIM and building information systems are helping for improving in the detection of semantic mistakes and missing information. One last limitation is that the approach is not fully automated yet. The approach requires different kinds of platforms and databases for pre-processing the data at different stages. However, the interoperability between platforms makes affordable the application of the presented approach. Some of the following research stages would be the analysis across the building stock in order to determine the reuse potential of buildings in different levels of the composition. Also, there is a need for the incorporation of complex deconstruction methods. In addition, there are parallel areas of opportunity to keep developing methods for improving the dismantling of buildings. For example, selective modular disassembly planning and testing alternative optimization methods. Some of the alternative applications of the presented approach are designing for future adaptability of buildings. With these methods, it will be possible to create green building designs that are very efficient for future disassembly or adaptation. Also, it could be possible to develop training tools for the construction works by using virtual reality. In addition, there are new business models arising in the field of circular economy for real estate market, where buildings are designed as future raw material banks. Finally, we are living in an era of technological advancements that are making possible the improvement of buildings' performance along all the life cycle and along the entire construction supply chain. For example, it has been demonstrated that digitizing the building information is reshaping the ways for delivering buildings. Digitizing the build environment is leading to a greater integration across practices and scales that were once considered separately. This integration is helping to create technical solutions and new functional business models in the field of circular economy with the purpose to move towards a more sustainable environment. All my recent research has been developed in collaboration with investigators from different institutions, such as my alma mater, the University of Waterloo, Chalmers University in Sweden, the Technological University of Berlin in Germany, and recently ETH Zurich in Switzerland. Finalizing, I am very committed with the vision and motivation of the presented work, and I will work continuously towards the development of innovative approaches for sustainability in the construction industry. Thanks for listening.